Alright. Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Smurf and yAwS, taking place here on the Last Refuge. And we have Smurf spawning as the purple night elf on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we have yAwS spawning as the yellow human. Great to just be watching some WarCraft 3 after some time. Ooh, a little bit of traffic here by yAwS with these peasants trying to build their buildings. It shouldn't make that big of a difference overall, but yeah, just I don't know. Now that I'm looking forward to casting and finding time again. It's just I'm not quite sure how to describe it. I have a little bit of a breather after a long week, and I can sit down and enjoy some WarCraft 3. And well, I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching as we get straight into this game. That seems a little bit zoomed out. All right. Is that good? Is that good? I don't know. It all feels weird. Oh, that feels too close. All right, one or two. Oh, I'm good. Thank you, Aria. Huh? No, webcam is not on. All right. My daughter's like, I want to watch. I haven't heard you cast WarCraft 3 in so long. I haven't seen games. Yeah, still a great game here. We're looking at Archmage with a couple of footmen being trained up. Meanwhile, we are looking at a tavern hero coming across from Smurf. Most likely a wisp will be making its way out, or perhaps an archer from here, and then we will see what is in store. 2 minutes 15 seconds for that tavern hero to come online. Meanwhile, Archmage or the AM should be coming out around the 2-minute mark and begin that creeping. So at 15-second delay on that hero for the night elf, but at the same time gets an additional archer out early, since the AOW was that first building to be trained up. A little bit of give and take there. As you see Smurf purposely run by with that wisp there. There you go. There you have it. You can see the footman was trying to attack that wisp there. We should be trying to get a train here, and there's 2 footmen right here, and it is going to be a Beastmaster. So Beastmaster first with the AM, already clearing out the majority of this creep camp off to the north. He dropped a water elemental as this wisp is now trying to retreat back. Meanwhile, we are going into triple archers in the back here. Hasn't even begun to creep, and this is a strange opening. If you guys have watched a lot of WarCraft 3, you guys would know, if you guys played a lot, that normally the AM and 2 footmen don't really try to come down all this way. You can see that there is 4 archers here. There goes an ensnare, and this is just straight up pressure by yAwS in the early portion of the game. All right, there goes 1 water elemental, so the Beastmaster already gets some early experience. More moonwells are trying to get constructed here. We're going to get some heals perhaps onto those moonwells, and this is just a lot of damage. yAwS is not getting a lot of mileage out of this early harassment. Footman is going to go ahead and try to retreat back. There is now 2 more footmen joining in on the battle. The Beastmaster should be able to try and train up an additional bear, but you see some ensnares here, and well, yAwS is really putting pressure on Smurf, not allowing him to get focus onto all of these creeping action. The Forest Troll Trapper is attacking at this AOW here, so this is a odd opening already between these 2 players. Now, we are still waiting to get to level 2 on the Beastmaster or the Archmage. Meanwhile, off to the north here, you see yAwS is already going to try and, just straight militia creep the top left. Alright, so AM is putting down a lot of pressure and now gets to level 2. So now Smurf knows that something is up, that there is somehow a lot of experience for yAwS. After clearing out the other creep camps here, he could try and set up an expansion. So that was the whole entire point. Put pressure onto your opponent, keep him inside his base. He still has a decent amount of experience at level 2. Does have boots of speed. He sold that Scroll of Town Portal and now is backing away. Is this a new strategy in the human arsenal? Attack with a whole bunch of footmen and then just let militia do what militia do here, as this water elemental does get ensnared and taken down. 35 supply compared to 27. There is a lot of workers, and you can see that there is in fact a whole bunch of, well, peasants looking to clear out off to the north. Beastmaster trying to make his way off to the north. Is he going to get surrounded? He does. Smurf walks into an army of footmen. You're going to see that the archers are going to perhaps try to pelt down one of those footmen there. Are we going to have the death of a Beastmaster force a scroll of town portal? Beastmaster down to 47 hit points, and it does force the TP there. All of these archers are going to go back home, and this is going to buy a bit of time for yAwS. yAwS now needs this arcane vault up and operational very quickly. Otherwise, all of these footmen are not going to be able to be healed. Meanwhile, the scout tower needs to upgrade to an arcane tower as well. As well, no, Smurf opting to not try and run back off to the north, instead staying close to home. Going to pick up a Forest Troll Shadow Priest and a Forest Troll Berserker, as he is already at, well, or he will be at tier 2. Yeah, picking up the Forest Troll Shadow Priest, that is going to be most likely for that Abolish magic to perhaps clear up those water elementals early on. Ancient of War still tanking quite a bit of damage, down to 300 some odd hit points, but should be just fine as this AOW eats some trees, tree cannibalism, and then roots himself perhaps to try and train up more units. Thunderhawk is out in play, a flying unit with magic damage early on, always a concern. As we look at what the Beastmaster is going to do next, he does have a Ring of the Archmagi, +3 to all stats, very powerful indeed. And now, well, considering his options, we're looking at 2 level 3 heroes on both sides. There is that bear. Hawk not even joining in on the battle here. Archmage is sitting at level 3, did pick up a Sobi mask, and now we're going to use a Scroll of Regeneration. yAwS does have this economic advantage off to the north, obviously still staying at tier 1 right now. Meanwhile, we do see a Naga Sea Witch as the follow-up hero for Smurf. So 2 heroes versus 1 as the Beastmaster picks up that Tome of Agility, gets some additional armor there, as we're going to see some pressure. Cold Arrows, is the Thunderhawk going to be able to get some damage down? Perhaps try to go straight after that Forest Troll Shadow Priest. That should be the primary target to really try and well, use that magic damage to its advantage, but no, he chases after a footman instead, as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest does get taken down. All right, a new Thunderhawk is now up in the air, going straight after the things that can attack and shoot up. That bear is going to get, that's going to get taken down here. Meanwhile, the Thunderhawk is just trying to put pressure. The water elementals, however, going to poke that unit out of the sky, as yAwS is now just using that extra gold from the expansion and hiring up Ogre Maulers and Mud Golems to push them back. Alright, so a lot of early action between the 2 armies in this game. A little bit unorthodox, to say the least, to see the 2 armies actually engage against each other this much. You can see there's still a large number of Orange Creek camps available on the map. Alright, so we're going to see some engagement here. Footman with Defend ending up being forced to retreat back. That is triple water elementals, but triple water elementals timed life. This army is going to go from very strong to decent down to nothing based on the timing of these water elementals. This water elemental isn't going to get finished off here. Dryads are out as well. Forest Troll Shadow Priest, I'm going to see some Abolish magic. One is going to get taken down, so is the other. And this is just feeding experience now to Smurf. Smurf, is he going to tier 3? No, he isn't. Going into Tree of Ages, hasn't built a Tree of Life down to the south. He is not trying to take away the economic advantage, just trying to press while he can. And while he can with that tech advantage. We're going to be looking at, another Ogre getting taken down. Remember, that is a 4 supply unit to get taken down. And we're still looking at more damage being pressed across here. Naga Sea Witch sitting at about 2 3/4. As we're looking at Ancient Protectors being built off to the side here. All right, are we going to see the March of the Treants? Remember, we saw Nature's Blessing already done. So that is going to be additional armor here, and just trying to put pressure into yAwS base. Level 4 now on the Beastmaster as the Water Elemental gets taken out. There's a new bear out on the battlefield. There was also a Potion of Greater Mana used up as Scrolls of Healing to try and make this go-wide army just last a little bit longer. Bears with a bit of bash. Beastmaster is going to try and summon up another Thunderhawk here, as we're looking at multiple arcs Arcane Towers here. Arcane Towers draining out so much mana as tower after tower is going to fall. Level 3 now on the Naga Sea Witch as the Ancient Protectors are nearly done. All right. Archers with not even upgraded range, only the 500 range right now. Forest Troll Shadow Priest still trying to stay alive. There goes another Footman, another one biting the dust here. Footman with Defend, able to reflect back a lot of damage as we see the Forest Troll, Berserker, Archers, and Dryads all deal piercing damage alongside the Ancient Protectors as well. 45 supply compared to 36. This is just going to slowly chip away. And it is the story right now is the ranged army able to poke from a bit of distance and get some damage done. All right, Footmen trying to take down this Ancient Protector. Are we going to see some repairs? No, Footmen are just going to end up getting absolutely squashed here. Archers able to turn back around. How are the Footmen not falling? They're able to just absorb so much damage because of that Defend. 42 supply compared to 45. And remember, 21 workers for yAwS as we see a Staff of Teleportation inbound for that Beastmaster. Beastmaster comes bearing gifts of Scroll of Healing, trying to keep some of these units alive. There's a Wisp nearby. Should really be trying to protect that Ancient Protector and repairing it. Or I thought there was. No, apparently that's just a pig. All right, so a little bit of damage here. A lot of pressure. I don't believe yAwS' door is going to break down just quite yet. Losing that Arcane Vault is a bit of a setback, but the quad tower in the backfield with 700 and 800 range, enough to deter. All right, it looks like, well, Smurf trying to dive in onto this position. Are we going to get some repairs? Beastmaster low on mana, so doesn't care if he takes that arcane feedback damage. We're going to see the guard tower now take a lot of pressure as the Paladin joins in on the battlefield. So the Paladin going to extend the life and health of yAwS' heroes and units as the Arcane Tower is about to fall. All right, these Ancient Protectors are not continuing to uproot and make their way over. yAwS using that extra gold from the mercenary camp to try and hire and just bring over units as much as possible. As we're looking at the Beastmaster, well, finally able to keep a little bit of mana here as more militia now being brought on over. Dryads coming in from behind here. We're going to see a little bit of damage, perhaps needing to get under the cover of these Ancient Protectors who have not been in the fight for quite some time. All right, however, focus an important part, just trying to keep your army alive and keep the Beastmaster alive during this situation here. yAwS bringing everything over from the main base to keep the units together here as Smurf finally able to, well, perhaps run under the cover of the Ancient Protectors, but is it going to be enough? All right, these two Ancient Protectors are going to fall, and well, the Naga Sea Witch trying to hold the door here, trying to keep that Ancient Protector, perhaps punish his opponent and buy time for the Beastmaster to make his way back over, walking, perhaps bringing in a bit more mana as well. Nearly level 5 on the Beastmaster, nearly level 4 on the, oh, nope, take it back, already level 4 on the Naga Sea Witch as well. So 4-4 versus a 4-1 as the Paladin needs just a bit more healing too. All right, we're looking at the Beastmaster, gonna take down a couple of peasants. After all of that, after what looked like a decent hold, yAwS is being forced to retreat back here. Peasants getting slowed down on here by the Dryads. Bear should be able to join in on this fight. Beastmaster is going to be just shy, I believe. Yeah, just shy, 13 experience shy of level 5. And level 5 is going to be that blinking, bashing bear, as we're looking at a couple of, well, riflemen trying to retreat back here. All right, transitioning into straight Dryads and those summons. At level 5 now on the Beastmaster. Beastmaster opts to go for level 3 bear. It is going to be the blinking, bashing bear making his way over. All right. Blinking, bashing bear. Dryad quickly gets taken down, getting lost in transit, not keeping track of everything here. Suddenly, the expansion is just going to get chipped away by this Ancient Protector as we're looking at Riflemen, well, starting to join in on the fight here. Dual Arcane, we're going to see, well, I believe Priest is going to get taken down. There goes one more Dryad going to come in, join in on the fight. We're looking at some easy damage, a quick bit of damage here. Riflemen trying to make its way, and it's going to get caught in transit once more. 51 supply compared to 49. Swirl of protection to try and stay alive. Dryads are just going to perhaps try and retreat back. There's some, well, Holy Light trying to keep these units alive, but the Spirit Bear, with that bash and that blink, able to dive in onto those backline spots, get onto those riflemen, making their range, well, perhaps neutralizing their range just by getting within melee distance in a moment. 46 supply compared to 43. Supply on those workers is getting closer together as the Paladin now gets to level 3. Naga Sea Witch is currently sitting at level 4. There's a big Holy Light 400 hit point heal as the units do try and retreat back out. Meanwhile, Beastmaster, is he going to try and Staff of Teleportation out of here? And we're still looking at a little bit of damage. Level 5 now on the Archmage. So 5-3 versus 5-4. A new bear now back out here onto the battlefield. We're looking at a little bit more damage. And wow, that Rifleman finally getting taken down here. Dryads are easily abolishing magic. All of these water elementals. There's some more Holy Light. There goes another water elemental again as we're looking at the bears trying to eat through some of the riflemen once more. All right. The bear with that 38 to 40 normal damage, able to deal so much damage onto those riflemen and those forest troll berserkers as the Beastmaster is still trying to continue to clean up. All right, there goes a Spirit Bear going after another priest. It looks like the priest is going to get taken down. Nope, he gets a Holy Light instead as another bear, Spirit Bear, now joining in on the battle. All right, if I said a Night Elf player was going bears, I'm sure you were not expecting the blinking, bashing variety at all. Beastmaster continuing to finish off some more of these units. Beastmaster holding steady about 5 3/4. Naga Sea Witch nowhere near that level up yet. That Beastmaster absolutely a tank with that additional armor, with that Ring of Protection +3, as we do see a little bit of a fallback here. All right, Militia trying to fight back here. Is it going to actually have enough? Ancient Protector with fortified armor seems to be okay, right? For at least for now. Dryads now going to make their way over, and they're going to be able to pick out or pick off some of these peasants. Are we going to get a level up? That is the follow-up question here. Naga Sea Witch not that close. Beastmaster not that close either, but is going to use a Clarity Potion and perhaps that Moonstone. Ancient Protector finally gets taken down. Dryad's going to be forced to retreat. And this game just doesn't seem to want to let up at all. We are supply blocked, 50 over 50 supply for Smurf. Meanwhile, yAwS sitting at 52 over 68. That is the most uncomfortable spot to be in a low upkeep limbo where you don't want to be there. Rifleman gets taken out, so finally able to mine fairly freely, but unable to really break inside here. Are we going to see some damage? Yes, we are. There's a nice Fork Lightning finding some easy targets. Holy Light does save one. We're going to see a Scroll of Protection there. Bear gets absolutely bashed as we now see the Spirit Bear blinking onto that backline spot. Footman trying to retreat back. There's another big Holy Light, but the Paladin, well, gets to level 4. We're going to see level 2 Devotion as the Beastmaster now gets up to level 6. This does change. No, it doesn't change with Thunder Lizard. It's going to change instead with the Spirit Hawk. Spirit Hawk, what? Dust of Appearance. So yAwS bought Dust of Appearance in anticipation of this Thunder Spirit Hawk being that level 6 ability. So needing to be able to catch it when it's constantly moving around. There's that Dust of Appearance again. There's going to be a little bit more damage. That Hawk is going to get taken down. Holy Light is going to keep that Rifleman alive as the Dryads are now getting taken out here. All right, Beastmaster already sitting at 6 1/4. That means the Naga Sea Witch isn't too far off either. 48 supply compared to 39 as we see a couple of these peasants just trying to mine away here. But 3 Dryads more than enough to, well, perhaps cause a little bit of a problem. Beastmaster now making its way over as well. We're going to see the Rifleman take a bash. A Holy Light keeps him alive again, and these Dryads are just not going to be in a good spot at all. There's another Abolish Magic trying to retreat away. It looks as though the Dryads will be able to do exactly that. Meanwhile, the Bear and the Beast, the Bear and the Beast able to just continue all of this fighting here. One-man army brings in just so much to the party as we're looking at the Spirit Hawk now backing away. Are we getting Arcane Sentry? Yes, we are. Magic Sentry, excuse me. for those towers to keep track of that Hawk. The Hawk is just getting in some easy damage there, but with the 2 arcane towers, effective bonus damage against summons, well, doesn't stand a chance. Now, main gold mines nearly mined out here on both sides. 90 or 80 seconds here, nearly 2 minutes here, with this base still operational. However, Smurf has purposely been staying in no upkeep throughout much of this match, so I am curious as to how much gold is really different between these two when you consider everything else. All right, Paladin sitting at level 4, gonna get to level 5. Dryad gets finished off here. Overlord, well, beating up on anything that it possibly can. Who's going to get the experience? Paladin, or who got the item? Beastmaster gets the 7% damage bonus as the, well, Riflemen are going to get taken down here. Meanwhile, Spirit Hawk trying to join in on the battle. Priest are just absolutely getting destroyed. We're going to see some more Fork Lightning here. Wisp now being brought over. Are we going to see some mass detonation against that backline spot? That is the question as another Dryad gets taken down. Archmage gets up to level 6, does have mass teleport right now. There's that detonation across all of these units. Again, there's a big Fork Lightning. 1 Rifleman down. Well, it looks as though the Dryads are trying to go after the Priest instead, while the heroes are going after the Footmen. Beastmaster could be in a little bit of trouble, down to 300 hit points. The first time I've seen him in the red in a very long time, as he's down to 105, uses an Invul Potion and stays alive, going after the rest of these targets. Invul Potion doesn't last forever. Going to go ahead and staff with Teleportation now, down to 125 hit points, able to escape away at the last possible moment, and perhaps try to join back in on the fight. However, the Paladin, with Sobi Mask and Brilliance Aura, should have mana pretty much for days, keeping all of these units alive with 600 hit point heals. That Paladin is going to be gonna make this army one tough nut to crack and break, especially as yAwS is still holding on to the economic advantage. Tree of Ages does have Nature's Blessing, so it is going to be able to walk a bit more quickly over to this southern gold mine, even though it still does walk very slow. As we move back off to the north here, we're looking at Beastmaster, Dryad, looking at a little bit of damage here. Bear's trying to hold on. yAwS knows he needs to hold on to this economic advantage best he can. Archmage continuing the charge. Level 3 Brilliance Aura. It wasn't even level 2. Level 3 Brilliance Aura, meaning that there's going to be mana pretty much forever. Beastmaster, however, gets to level 7. But the Beastmaster can't stand still for very long. He doesn't want to stand still and instead goes for Quill Beast. Quill Beast is the third ability for Smurfs. The Beastmaster at level 7 opts to go for Quill Beast over Thunder Lizards. That does come as a surprise, as a level 1 Quill Beast summon when your opponent already has access to Priests with Adept Training and level 3 Brilliance Aura means that there should be plenty of mana for them. All right, Ogre Magi going to get finished off here. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Bear and the Hawk going to make its way down, perhaps try to finish things off here. There's going to be a little bit of damage. Well, a couple of ensnares down. But the Spirit Bear should be able to finish it off very, very easily. Gonna finish off those here, entangle that gold mine, get a couple of wisps inside, as the Moonwells do not have the Wellspring Blessing, only have a capacity at 300. All right. Entangle gold mine, Wisp gonna jump inside. Economic advantage is now gonna become mute for yAwS, as he is now in a bit of an economic disadvantage. He only has 3 more minutes of mining, and he needs to overcome where his opponent is at. And how is he going to do that? He's going to be everywhere he wants to be with mass teleport. He's going to be able to come in here, mass teleport right after clearing out or pressuring that Gargantuan Sea Turtle, stop this Tree of Ages, and then, well, mosey on back out. There's not going to... Well, losing losing one, losing another. This would be one of those situations where, hey, if you actually had Thunder Lizards and Tornado, you could deal massive damage to the buildings already. You should be going straight after that Arcane Tower, remove it from the equation, and now go after everything else. Is the Naga Sea Witch perhaps going to go for Tornado and be able to destroy some of these buildings here? There is no Scroll of Town Portal available, no easy retreat back home for Smurf. What is Smurf going to do? How is Smurf going to stop or prevent these buildings from being destroyed? That is the question. And if it's a game of hit and run and trading, the Paladin and the Priest are able to keep the army alive for so much longer, teleport out when the situation gets too rough, and then just come back in when you're ready with invisibility on a footman, as we saw. I believe the writing is on the wall here. Smurf needs to somehow do a decisive win in this fight here, as we see a quick blink by that Spirit Bear into that backline position. Is it going to be enough? Naga Sea Witch at level 7, 34 supply compared to 46. There is Tornado as that ultimate ability. We're going to see the Bears get taken down here. Paladin still has a bit too much mana, but there's nothing for him to really heal, as the Priests are doing a little bit of overhealing, I guess. And now, are these Moonwells going to get lost before they can turn into mana for the Beastmaster? That's going to be the question. Yes, 220 Moon Juice lost from that Moonwell. There's going to be a Fork Lightning, but nothing dies. A 600 hit point heal. Well, that woman died. 41 supply compared to 31, and we're still looking at this fight here. This is a strange game here on Last Refuge. No one took down their own Goblin Laboratory, really. They're still pretty, the southern one's still available. North one wasn't never fully cleared out. And yeah, we see level 6, level 7 heroes, even though all the red creep camps are still on the map and still many of the orange. Naga Sea Witch. Beastmaster trying to retreat back out here. Are we gonna? No, we can't. We don't see a Tornado. There's full Moonwells in the back. The heroes need to get into that position at any point, though. Oh, Archmage summons up another extra water elemental. What is his plan? He doesn't have mana to actually mass teleport out of this situation if it gets dicey, and that is that the plan right there. Let's go ahead and try and engage Beastmaster. Going to try to dive on in. Dryads coming back in off the north. Rifleman, however, greatly outraging and still continuing the poke again. Naga Sea Witch trying to retreat back. These Moonwells far back inside his base, unaccessible for the Naga Sea Witch and the Beastmaster. And I think that is going to be the game here, as the units are just slowly picking away. All right. No, wait, nope. Take it back. yAwS left. Smurf comes away with the... Army sizes were about the same. No long distance mining. There is still a little bit of gold here to be had, but somehow Smurf outlasts his opponent in this battle here. It still felt like it was anyone's game. Yeah, I don't know. You let me know. Do you think yAwS left prematurely? Do you think it was a foregone conclusion that Smurf was going to win? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, higher hero score. But yeah. Perhaps not having access to mass teleport? I don't know. What do you guys think?